Hey everyone, it's Mike from High Low Solutions. I hope you're doing well today. Just want to talk to you a little bit about efficiency and help you understand the difference about buying efficient equipment. Now, that's not necessarily our equipment or our beast and all that type of stuff, but it's for some of you guys out there that are buying 2.5 gallon a minute machines, 4.4 or 4 gallons a minute or 5.5. And then you're asking questions, should I upgrade to like an 8? My encouragement to you is upgrade as high as you possibly can afford it. 10 gallon a minute would probably be your best bet instead of jumping to an 8. But that's my take because we've been doing this for such a long time and see the difference between an 8 and a 10 as far as production rate is concerned. We've been doing this for a long time. I've been in the industry since 1997, and we started out using wands years ago. I really was starting to pressure clean from probably about 1984, 85 when I was in high school. And then I started a painting company for about 10, 11 years, but we also did pressure cleaning and we did a lot of roofs every year and such. But we used the wand. And it took forever, and we would do a 3,000 square foot roof in 6 hours, 7 hours. Once the surface cleaner came out, we started using doing those same roofs in about 2 or 3 hours, and then obviously we started developing some better equipment to do roof cleaning. I know, soft wash was kind of out there at that time, but not a lot. And so we had to find some other methods to do it where it would be safe and not harm the roof and everything. And so that's what we started developing personally for my own companies. Efficiency is basically just going to reduce your labor cost and it's going to make you more profitable. When you start to keep working on that in your business, you're going to see better profits and less time working on a job. But then on top of that, you're also going to get to another job faster, which most people don't really equate that into the overall scope of buying efficient equipment. Years ago when we started buying better equipment all the time, and my wife was not thrilled with me, and as most of you guys have the same issues, she would always say to me, we can't afford this new piece of equipment, and I would tell her we can't afford not to have it. And she didn't really get that philosophy for a while, until what I started doing was I would buy it, and even if I had to buy it on credit, I bought it, and then I would start taking out $50 or $25 a job or whatever it was, and I would see how long that particular surface cleaner or pressure washer or whatever would pay for itself. And usually it was like within a week or two. And when I started doing that and showing her on paper, and then now that after that couple weeks, we're now making that $25 or $50 extra in our pocket, she started to understand it a little bit better, and it made it easier for her to understand. So if you want to send this to any wives, go ahead and do so. Anyway, I'm going to give you a scenario of two different parking garage cleaning companies. And help you understand their philosophy. One guy's philosophy is to hire a bunch of employees to do the work, and the other guy went ahead and bought the beast and also set himself up his own rig to be able to do 20 to 30 and 8 gallons a minute and such. All right, so let's get into the scenario here. We've got two companies doing about 1.5 million square foot parking garage. There's really no gum removal, very little oil. They're newer parking garages, and just the walls are getting rinsed just wherever they make the mess, and there's no ceilings. It's pretty much just straight up ground cleaning and rinsing. All right, so you have company A that uses 6 guys to clean anywhere from 80 to 90,000 square foot a night, and it took them about 18 nights to do the whole job. And then you have company B that uses 2 guys to do the cleaning, and they're doing anywhere from 150,000 square foot to about 160,000 square foot a night. And he said it took them about 10 nights to do it. Both of these companies are telling me that they're paying their guys about $250 a night. That does not include workers' comp or taxes or benefits. So you've got company A paying about $1,500 a night, and overall job it costs about $27,000. And you've got company B paying $500 a night, and it cost them roughly about $5,000 overall. All right, so once I did the numbers on this two scenarios, it was really staggering on the savings. Obviously, there's 8 nights of work, which is different. We're going to go into that a little bit later. You've got 4 less employees that you have to deal with, not showing up, not working as hard. After so many hours, they're too fatigued. We'll get into that in a little bit as well. They're not producing as much. On company A, they used roughly about 864 man hours versus company B used 160 man hours. That is a big difference because what that does is it gives you less risk. You're paying less money in workers' comp, you're paying less money in taxes, and obviously you're paying less money in the overall job cost. You're talking $22,000 difference just in labor cost alone for this particular job. Company A told me that they were wiped out. Just physically, the fatigue factor is such a big factor that most guys don't really think about because we just learn how to grind it out. But the production rate will really decrease as you keep going. That's why there was such a fluctuation between 80 to 90,000 square foot on per night for this particular company. Company B was a little bit more consistent, and the reason being is because they're not killing themselves with the beast. The beast does all the pulling of the hoses and everything else, and so it makes it so much easier to use. Another big factor that most companies don't get, and we talk to our guys about using it as a selling point, is that it's a less disturbance for the businesses. Sometimes they love that factor more than anything else, and that's why they'll hire some of my contractors over some of you, because you're not going to get in and out as fast as they could. That's a big factor for companies that are going to be disturbing their customers, or they're disturbing their residents to move their vehicles around and all that type of stuff. It's a big hassle, and so it's something that you really need to kind of look into and understand some of that those factors. All right, so let's get into the amount of money that they actually made on this job. So believe it or not, they charged about 4 cents a square foot for this. When you get into larger square footage, you actually have to come down pretty much on your prices. So that's why the Beast is such a great option, because you get in and out faster. So both companies told me they had roughly about $5,000 in extra job costs. That may have been hotels and meals and degreaser and gas and such that they would use for the job or because of the job. Had nothing to do with their overhead cost. Company A grossed $60,000, had $5,000 in extra cost, $27,000 in labor. Their net profit for that job was $28,000. Company B had $60,000 in gross, $5,000 in overhead cost for the job, and then another $5,000 in labor. So they netted $50,000. This is an increase about $22,000 more than Company A. Now here's where the numbers get really interesting. Company B has 8 more days worth of work to do for those two guys. They produce anywhere from about $1,200 to $1,800 a day, he told me. So let's just average it out at $1,500. That's an additional $12,000 for this company now grossing because of these two guys being able to work an extra 8 more days versus Company A. Now, Company B has freed up these 4 other employees to work those extra 18 days. And they also have produced roughly per crew about $1,500, which is $3,000 a day, which totals about $54,000 extra in gross. The two combined is roughly about $126,000 in gross versus Company A only grossing $60,000. Now, I didn't get into any more details about how much he actually made or netted off of those extra days and extra work that he did, but it definitely was a significant amount. Obviously, if you run your business, you know what you're making on $126,000 versus $60,000. So anyway, I hope this helps some of the guys. I know there's going to be people out there that are going to argue with the numbers and different things, but this is data from two separate companies. Whether your numbers are going to be different on those same type of jobs, that's entirely different. So, but I hope you understand that there is a bigger difference when there's efficiency versus someone who's using higher labor cost. Unfortunately, most guys, what they do is they just look at the cost of what the extra equipment is going to cost them. They don't really see all the data of what it could actually produce and how much money it could actually make them. The nice thing about it is once it's paid off, which some of my guys are telling me it's paying off anywhere between 2 weeks to 4 weeks, sometimes even more. But it's paying off pretty quickly. That's a great ROI for any type of equipment that you would buy. Most of the time, equipment usually takes a couple of years to pay for itself. This does pay for itself a whole lot faster. Hey, thanks for watching this video. I hope you have a great day, and if you need anything, please feel free to give me a call, 561-779-3291. Mike from High-Low Solutions. You could also check out our website at highlowsolutions.com. You could text me or email me as well, and be glad to help you in any way possible. Thanks. Have a blessed day.